you're meeting with a prospect, you have such a short window, you're at the end of the year and you're trying to push a deal through the pipeline. How do you help to build urgency? In this episode, we're going to talk to you about what Cindy is doing and give her some coaching ideas of how she can improve and do this more effectively. Check it out. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another great episode of the Sales Evangelist Podcast. I'm your host, Donald C. Kelly, the Sales Evangelist, and I'm so excited for another great episode. I'm so excited to be here with you today. And as I mentioned a couple weeks ago, I had the opportunity right now to connect with some amazing people at a wonderful conference, and you should definitely check it out. We find some details down in the show notes. And as you can see, it's not my typical surrounding and setup, but you know what? We're just out here having some fun. But Cindy and I, she runs an organization called Floatist, and it's an amazing software, and she's doing B2B sales. She has a short window, and like many of us, we have the end of the year right now, the fourth quarter, and we're trying to figure out how in the world are we going to help some of these deals to get across the pipeline, get through the finish line in a pipeline. And the same challenge that she's facing is also one that you could benefit from. And listen to this. This is going to be a real life coaching situation. We get a chance to go through her challenge, but they also gave us some ideas. And one of them actually stuck. If this is your first time listening to our podcast, I encourage you to go to LinkedIn and connect with me. You can find me, Donald C. Kelly. Again, Donald C. Kelly. And if you're curious to try to figure out how you can improve your sales game, you should check out our mastermind. The next group begins in January. It's thesalesevangelist.com/mastermind, thesalesevangelist.com/mastermind. As we dive in now, get a chance to learn a little bit more about Cindy's situation and see if you can find yourself in the same example and how you can improve. Welcome to the show, Cindy.
Thank you.
I'm excited to talk to you today because I feel like many of us as sales professionals, we find ourselves in that cycle where we are trying to get business closed. And right now we're recording this in Q4 in November. And for many sales professionals out there, B2B sales professional, you know this window is like coming to a close and the year is coming to an end. How do we help to generate urgency with our prospects without being too pushy? And I know that's something that you guys mentioned. Why don't you talk to me about how you're facing that challenge right now? Like how is that a challenge for you in your business?
Yeah, so for us especially because our customers are dealing with seasonality, so that also of course impacts our sales season, let's say, and the way that the time frames in which we can do sales. So especially Q4 actually, so this quarter is very important for us, and it usually, well, actually always is our biggest quarter in terms of sales.
Because you're selling for the spring.
Yes, our customers, they want to get started with our software in the spring, let's say February, March. Yeah. So right now is a perfect moment for them to make the decision and to start with us. And then we also have to onboard them, which is also not trivial. So yeah, how we deal with that is at the moment, well, we try to manage our schedule and, plan with our resources. So what we usually do is we actually offer a discount if customers want to decide already in August or September, which is very early for them to decide because they are still going, they're still in the middle of their peak season. So we do realize that's early for them. They're busy with other things, and that's why it's hard to close then. But by offering discounts, we get some people over the line. And yeah, other than that, it's just I don't really have a good a good way to make them close earlier, especially this summer. Also the season extended longer, so that made it also more complicated.
Was that because of they're in the sailing industry, and it was the Olympics that interfere? Was that what made the big interference this year, or
that's what some people think?
Or just Mother Nature and the weather?
Yes, I think that's more it. So normally in July and August was always the peak season, and charter companies, so our target customers, they put up their prices in those peak seasons to make as much money as possible, and the demand was high. Now this summer was generally the bookings were a bit lower, so actually July and August was not peak season, but September was now peak season, probably because their customers, so the customers of our customers, they didn't want to pay that high July August price, and that's why a lot of our customers still had a lot of bookings in September and October. So it made their season longer, and it made our sales season also shorter.
Interesting. So yeah, it makes it way tougher for you. All right. Well, let's talk about this. You're doing B2B. How long would you say your typical sales cycle is?
It's the average is about, I think, 4 or 5 months, but we also have very long sales cycles of like 2 years. So customers that we've been nurturing for, or future prospects
Yeah.
that we've been nurturing for a long time.
All right. So 4 or 5 months, you're taking care. You're going through the cycle, and then you're how many meetings would you say you have over that time period?
Yeah, that's also a good question. It differs somewhere between 3 and 5 or so.
Okay. So there's with the in terms of the urgency, there are a couple. I love the fact that you guys have and most people do this too in the industry, right? You give a little discount to help incentivize people to make a decision quicker. I'm working with a client right now. We're supposed to be going to Dubai, and one of the things that we're doing is we're trying to get some sales while we're there, and it's the same idea: incentivize people to do a deposit now, get them access to more. And then the other piece that I find too that you probably can do, okay, I'm going to give you a couple ideas now that I've seen. And
Yeah,
test these
great.
out. So we don't know if these are going to work. So Cindy's going to probably have to come back on a podcast in like 6 months and tell us next year how they work. And maybe you do this, but like in that, can we, one concept is give them a little bit more now, like you said, the discount, but also are there additional, do you just sell by licenses, by seats, or
Yeah,
number of users?
number of yachts.
A number of yachts. Okay. So perhaps even if there's a way that you can give them access to more in the software, if there's tiers. So like if you were to get, incentivized, if you get now, one, you're going to get access to, XYZ, you get the discounted price, but also you're getting access to XYZ features that's only available at this time and could be a benefit. I don't know if
Yeah,
that's,
we could do that with new features, for example, because we're always releasing new features. For example, we have a big feature, inventory management, is now being released next week. And we might have to charge extra for that. But indeed, that could be a good incentivize. Like, okay, if you sign now, then you get this for free
yeah.
for the rest of your contract.
Look
That would
at
be a
that.
very good deal for
Yeah.
them, though.
I like that. There's a software out there. So we guess one. The second thing that I found to help increase urgency from my standpoint is let's go deeper. Why do you feel that they're not doing it right now? Is it because they don't have the funds to do it right now, or is it just inherently they're not necessarily ready to make changes? Are there any reason why they're not buying sooner?
Yeah, the funds is probably not an issue unless we didn't explain it properly, because they don't even have to pay if they only want to start in February, March. Okay, or just maybe a small deposit, but nothing like not the entire license if they only start in February, for example. But I feel that the industry that we are in, people they love to postpone things that can wait till tomorrow, and it's not only deciding on a new software system, but it's with everything. And it's basically only things get fixed when they break, while maybe you want to do preventative maintenance. So we see it in a lot of things in the industry. The industry is quite traditional, and it's one of the big problems, I think.
Okay, so it's not even the cost, it's just their behavior.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
Maybe, so one of the things that I like to talk, there's a software called Aligned. So Aligned is not sponsoring this, but we'll put you guys in the show notes. But I absolutely love the software, Cindy, and the reason is 65% of the human population are visual people. Like, we are visual learners. In the process, the 4 to 5 months, how many people are a part of the decision making typically, or influencing it?
Yeah, let's say around 3 on average, I think.
And how many of them are in that first discovery call with you?
Usually on the first call, I think it would be only one person.
And then you do a demo with everybody, or the demo is happening at the same time?
Often the demo happens in the first call already, because people want to see it, and it's hard to postpone that. And I mean, it gives us a moment to show off as well. And then the other people get involved in the next calls.
Okay. Do you have any of the demos available, like a demo light on the website or on YouTube?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
we
Cool.
do. Yeah, so we can share those resources with
Okay.
our prospects.
So we definitely can do. So one of the suggestions that I found. So this is why I like Aligned. You've heard of a mutual action plan before?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
exactly like that. But this is they create a digital sales room.
Oh yeah, we are using
You
one tool like that. Um,
What?
and I like the idea, especially for the post sales process. I think it's nice.
Yeah.
But I feel that maybe in our industry might not be the right thing, because sometimes I also feel that maybe if people look at it, it could be overwhelming.
Yeah.
And it's not so much about showing off your features and the benefits so much. I really believe that to be more effective in sales, you need to uncover the needs of your prospects. And if you just let them go around in a sales room unmanaged by you, like unguided, then I wonder how effective that is.
No, I totally agree with you. So this is the way that I do it with our clients. We will do a initial call, probably one person, like you're saying, and they probably want to see some of our courses and what we offer, and we show them around. And then what we do after the next call, I get everybody, we get everyone together, and usually at that point we will create like the digital sales room. And then I'm able to put the recording of the conversations in there. But the key part that I use is that mutual action plan, where I work with them to do the timeline
Yeah.
so that they could be a part of that. For me, that's the best feature in it.
Okay.
So then now we can say, all right, so Cindy, in order to get you guys, you don't have to make a deposit, right? You don't have to make a full payment right now, but you'll need to do a simple little deposit. We'll go through that. But this is the process people typically will go through, and you simplify the steps, right?
Yeah.
So maybe it's like in our case, one, you get a chance, you'll review the system. Two, then you'll make a decision internally, and whatever. Three, will get you onboarded, and four, will get your team members in a sales assessment, and voila. So then make it very easy for them. So then I go back and I ask them, so let's look at dates. What date, if you want to get your team members started by August 1st, when do you feel you can do step 3? And then they start to be a part of it, because it helps them to not see it as like we can wait forever, but if it ties back to their incentive. And what I usually like, they always tell me, in that first meeting, I try to dig down and get the reason. So maybe they say, well, we're trying to increase sales for a new product launch. So I'm like, okay, if you want to increase sales for the new product launch, we need to, and it launches in October, we need to get everything onboarded by August. So that's our end date. When do you feel then to get that, get your team ready, that we need to do step 3? And now they see a reason behind it. But that's how I apply the mutual action plan concept.
I love that idea, and that's actually a very good use of a sales room like that.
Because you're right, though. It can, no offense to you guys out there with digital sales room, but if you do put a whole lot in there, it's like, I don't know, you tell me to go into the store and I don't know what to buy, and I get confused with everything that's around there.
Yeah, and they might, even worse, think, oh, I don't need this.
Yeah.
I've seen it in your online sales room and I don't need this. But, you don't know if maybe they were not understanding the little video that you uploaded there, or they didn't read it properly. So it's dangerous, I feel. But for the mutual action plan, but isn't there a better tool for that is just the mutual action plan? Is it necessary to have the whole?
No, you don't have to. You can. So with the digital sales rooms too, the reason why I like Aligned is it just allows for all of the stuff to be there. So I educate people, and again, I'm not getting any money from Aligned, but their main component in the middle is the timeline feature.
Okay, that is the main component.
On the sides, and I can show you Aligned after this, but on the side you have you can delete some of the stuff that you have. So I just put demo. So if somebody missed one of the meeting, they can go watch the demo, but that's really what I put there. And then the timeline. And then it allows me to be able to see when they're engaging and who's going in there. And then I show them that mutual action plan because we're working together on that call. And it allows for me to just give them a basic idea from it, but
Yeah.
before they get in there. But I don't try to put a whole lot in there. Keep it skinny for them.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll have to take a look at Aligned.
All right, Align. We're gonna try it. We're gonna test this out. Test out the mutual action plan. So two things. One, you're gonna keep offering, and even like I like the idea of the discount. It could be maybe you don't even need to do the discount with some of them if
Yeah.
you're given the feature, and
Yeah,
if you're doing
exactly.
the
Adding a feature on top might feel nicer than a discount. It always feels a bit easy to get to give a discount, and it doesn't always incentivize people anyway. But an extra feature for free, because we do have modular pricing, that could very well be a very good benefit.
I'll give you a quick last little story. I worked at a company in college, and they gave out little incentives at the end of the it was at the end of the shift, a little spiff, and you make your money doing your regular job, but they'll say you'll get $5 or you'll get this little gift if you do X amount of things. And we would work so hard for that little gift. But it wasn't like, and we're like, hold on, we're making more money on our regular hourly. But the fact, though, it was just this idea of getting something extra that makes it so fun. So it works psychologically.
Yeah.
Give them a little
Okay.
extra.
I'll give it a try for sure.
All right, Cindy, if the one major takeaway you took from the episode today that you're going to test and apply.
The mutual action plan, I've heard it before, and I know that it's a good idea to do it, but now I realize I should maybe, actually do it, actually use it better,
Well, awesome.
create
We'll
a
do that.
process.
All right. And then if folks out there listening to this episode want to get in touch with you, want to learn from you, how do they best connect with you?
You can find me on LinkedIn, I think.
LinkedIn. Awesome. And it's Cindy.
Cindy Allis,
Cindy Allis.
Allis.
All right, guys. Cindy Allis on LinkedIn. We have a link down in the show notes. Cindy, thank you so much for coming on the show today. Appreciate
Yeah,
you.
thanks for having me.
That was amazing, right? It was such a simple thing. And actually, I did connect with Cindy after the event, and she said that she did download and connect with Aligned. So friends over at Aligned, go ahead. You got a new client from us. But I love the tool, and if you haven't checked it out, it's a great way for a mutual action plan. You can find more details about that information down in our show notes and check it out and see how it can best help you. As always, I want you to thrive. I want you to succeed. I want you to be able to build stronger pipeline. I want you to be able to close more deals. Most importantly, I want you to do this effectively. And the best way you can do that is to try new things. And right now in the fourth quarter, I would love for you to test this out. You can also check out our sales mastermind. We're going to have a new semester starting in January. Find more information at thesalesevangelist.com/mastermind. As always, raise the level of thinking, go out and do big things.